The Rewind
Sports 60. From the city of Big Show, jewel of the Midwest, comes a sports show that's one of a kind. From iconic players to iconic stadiums to iconic teams, this is my kind of town. And the Rewind Sports 60 is my kind of show. From Air Jordan to sweetness to Papa Bear Hallis, this city works hard, but plays even harder. Danny Carlino and Jerry Riles bring you the Rewind Sports 60. Live. The Rewind Sports 60 starts now.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Rewind Sports 60. We're streaming live on YouTube, broadcasting from the world's famous Saranello's Restaurante Italiano, right here in the heart of Wheeling. This is the Rewind Sports 60. I'm Jerry Riles. Buckle down, strap it down. The next 2 hours, the fastest 2 hours in sports entertainment, we're going to bring it to you hard. There's no question about it. We got NFL conversation on the docket. We got some NBA conversation. We'll talk a little bit of controversial issues as well surrounding high school sports. Ladies and gentlemen, lock it in. Get us on your iPhone, your Android, your PC, your MacBook Pro. We're streaming live. We want you to spread the word. This is our Saturday Tailgate show at Saranello's. We're here every Saturday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Come on down. Everyone's ready to have a good time. We got some pizza coming. We got maybe some sausage. I love to have some sausage coming down here because I love it. Everything here at Saranello's is fantastic. Natalie, they will greet you at the hostess stand when you come on in. Get you a seat at the bar. We got the games going on, college football, college basketball. Want you to be a part of our 2-hour extravaganza, our Saturday tailgate show right here at Saranello's in Wheeling. We're located right here on the corner of Lake Cook Road and Milwaukee Avenue, and I'm looking forward to having some fun time. We got some great guests coming on up. Again, we're going to talk some a little bit of college football, but we're definitely going to talk some Bears football. Former defensive end Chicago Bear Alex Brown will be joining us on our TR60 hotline. Folks are looking forward to that. He's going to break down the Bears-Rams battle on Sunday Night Football tomorrow night. But we're also getting an opportunity, hopefully, to talk with him and pick his brain regarding that Thursday night fiasco, that Thursday night melee with Cleveland and the Pittsburgh Steelers. You saw that crazy behavior taking place, and I got an opinion or two as far as what I think about what transpired there. Hopefully, we'll also get an opportunity to talk about the Colin Kaepernick situation. Yes, indeed. He's working out down in Atlanta, folks. There were 11 NFL teams out of the 32 teams that said, hey, you know what? We're going to go down to Atlanta, the training facility for the Atlanta Falcons, and we're going to take a look at Colin Kaepernick and see if he's NFL ready, if he's been prepared the past 3 years. Can he get back into the National Football League? Now the number, from what we understand, ESPN, Adam Schefter said the number is up to 24 teams that will be down in Atlanta taking a look at Colin Kaepernick. And I hope, and the Bears, they always keep things under wrap. But I hope that Ryan Pace, I know Matt Nagy can't go because they're in La La Land getting ready for the Rams, but I hope that Ryan Pace or one of the scouts or some representative for the Chicago Bears we'll be down there watching Colin Kaepernick, and I know there are a lot of people that say he's not a fit for the Chicago Bears. Mitchell Trubisky is doing well. Chase Daniels is our backup guy. We don't need to ruffle the feathers anymore with bringing in Colin Kaepernick. But if you ask me, even if you don't ask me, I'm going to tell you, I think Colin Kaepernick, for all practical purposes, might be a better fit to run Matt Nagy's offense compared to Mitchell Trubisky, because if you look at it, they're always saying Mitchell Trubisky is very athletic, and get him out of the pocket, let him roll down the field, let him scramble and move around. He's got an arm, he's got a cannon, so to speak. He's just a little bit wet behind the ears, but I truly believe if the Bears, and I gotta think and visualize this, but I believe if the Bears, for some reason, miraculously, brought in Colin Kaepernick, I think with his athletic ability, his experience in the league, and just his foot speed and his footwork, he would be more beneficial for the Chicago Bears offense, more effective. And he does have an arm. He can get the ball down the field. But as I told you, there are a lot of my colleagues, my brethren here in the Chicago market, they just don't see a matchup with Colin Kaepernick. And some of them say, hey, you know what? He's been out for 3 years. Does he even still have it? I think you can't lose anything. I really believe you cannot lose anything, because think about it. And we're going to get a chance to talk to Alex Brown, the former Bear, in a moment, joining us on the Rewind Sports 60. But if you think about it, he brings a dual weapon. When you talk about his mobile ability, his footwork, his feet, he's fast, he's smart, again, and he can throw the ball down the field. So now you're going to have defenses off balance. They're going to try to see if they're going to stack the box and bum rush them. Well, you got some weapons in your wide receivers, but also you got the little human joystick that Tariq Cohen. He has been shut down. Tariq Cohen has been shut down for the most part this season. And why? Because defensive coordinators have figured out to take away his strengths, his weapons, and they made him a one-dimensional player. You know, he's always cutting back against the grain and spinning and running and all that. They've cut that out. You saw that in the Raider game when the Bears went to London to take on the Raiders and lost that disappointing game. He got smashed by 3 Oakland Raider defenders because they figured him out. I think a Colin Kaepernick under center for the Chicago Bears, that opens up Tariq Cohen a little bit more. It also probably helps the running game, although David Montgomery is going to be out with he's questionable for tomorrow's game against the Rams with that foot injury. We'll have to wait to see as far as that is concerned. But I hope that the Chicago Bears will send a representative. Ryan Pace himself, I hope that they will send a representative down to Atlanta to watch Colin Kaepernick. I hope they're already down there and they're ready to watch this guy unfold. And, you know, whatever the case may be, I hope that Colin Kaepernick gets a fair chance, a fair shot. And whatever reason you want to say, whatever the cause may be, you do have to tip your hat to the National Football League, albeit they wanted him today on Saturday when most teams are traveling and preparing for their Sunday clash. The NFL earlier this week said, hey, you're going to work out, you're going down to Atlanta, take it or leave it. Colin Kaepernick and his camp say, hey, you know what? Why don't we move it to Tuesday? Because that's the day off as far as NFL teams are concerned. That's when you bring in free agents to work out. I'd be willing to do that. Or, if not, let's move it to next Saturday. I need a little bit more preparation. NFL said, no. Hey, buddy, you take it, you leave it. So, up to 24 teams now who are supposed to be in attendance to watch Colin Kaepernick work out. And I hope that one team, some team, gives them an opportunity to lace them up, get out there on Sundays, and fire the rock. One team in particular, I think, may have some interest if the Bears aren't sniffing up his, backside. You saw what happened in that Pittsburgh Steelers-Cleveland Browns game on Thursday night. You saw the mayhem, the melee, the fiasco that took place with 8 seconds left in that contest. Cleveland, the Browns, they had the game wrapped up. You saw what happened. Mason Rudolph, the backup quarterback for the Steelers. Dandy Don Meredith. Remember he used to say on Monday Night Football, turn out the lights, the party's over. Hey, that guy threw 4 interceptions in that disappointing loss as far as the Pittsburgh Steelers was concerned. And then he tries to rip off the helmet of Garrett on a legit play. It was a legit tackle. He tries to rip the helmet off. And then, of course, you saw what happened there. He was the cause of it. Now, I don't condone using a helmet as a weapon to hurt a defensive person. I don't condone that. You should not use a helmet or any object to swing at somebody. Fist, I understand that. Stumping, pouncing, no, you don't kick anybody. It's 8 seconds left in the game, regulation. You don't do that. But this quarterback, who caused the mayhem by trying to rip the helmet off, again, he threw 4 interceptions in that game. He's been playing poor. I think Tomlin, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think they'll be down there in Atlanta looking at Colin Kaepernick. He might be a good fit for them. He might. I predicted even before, that I believed, even before the fight, that Pittsburgh would be the front runners in seeking the services of Colin Kaepernick. Even before the fight happened on Thursday, I predicted that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be the front runners as far as the services of Colin Kaepernick. After what we saw on Thursday night, I wouldn't be surprised. It may be a little bit crazy, maybe a little bit far-fetched, but I would not be surprised if the Pittsburgh Steelers say, hey, you know what? Colin, come on in. Come on in. And have Rudolph kind of sweat. Have him kind of sweat. They have Colin Kaepernick come on in and try out. Because it can't hurt him. It can't hurt them. And as far as the backlash is concerned, I think that people will embrace them. We saw what happened with Antonio Brown and the New England Patriots. And, oh, by the way, incidentally, the New England Patriots are going to have a representative down in Atlanta to watch Colin Kaepernick as well. But we saw what happened with Antonio Brown before all the allegations and the investigation taking place regarding the assault against two women. But he was embraced. The New England Patriots fan base embraced Antonio Brown. So as far as Colin Kaepernick is concerned, yeah, you're going to get some naysayers. You're going to get some people to say, hey, you're unpatriotic, you're a bum, blah, 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 blah. But once he gets under center and that clock starts ticking and he gets down and he's moving an offense and he's scoring touchdowns, they're going to be standing there, yay! Yeah. And the Pittsburgh Steelers fans, the Pittsburgh fans, they are brutal. They are downright brutal. But if Colin Kaepernick got under center and got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are on the brink of elimination as far as the playoff push is concerned, if he got them in motion, moving in the right direction and scoring touchdowns, you better believe it, they would certainly embrace them. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the fastest 2 hours in sports conversation. This is the Rewind Sports 60. Jerry Riles, come on down. Our Saturday tailgate, Saranello's Ristorante Italiano, again, located on the corner of Milwaukee Avenue and Lake Cook Road, right here in the heart of Wheeling. We're going to take a short time out. When we come back on our TR60 hotline, you loved him when he played and you loved him when you listen to him or you hear him talk Bear football. Former Bear defensive end Alex Brown will be joining us on our TR60 hotline. Keep it locked in. You've got the Rewind Sports 60.
You're watching the Rewind Sports 60. We are Sensei. Go team.
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout, so don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention the Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
How do you unplug, Illinois?
Adventure.
Fun.
Fitness.
What's your outlet? Support your local park and recreation agency.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and I help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention the Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
How do you unplug, Illinois?
Adventure!
Fun!
Fitness!
Teamwork!
What's your outlet? Support your local park and recreation agency.
Welcome back to the Rewind Sports 60, streaming live on Facebook Live. Now let's get you back to the hottest sports panel in Chicago.
Hello, Chicago!
Lock it in.
Welcome everyone back to the Rewind Sports 60. Again, our Saturday tailgate show here at Saranello's in the beautiful, beautiful city of Wheeling, just outside the greatest city in the world, Chicago, Illinois. Come on down Lake Cook Road and Milwaukee Avenue. We're enjoying ourselves. It's the fastest 2 hours in sports conversation. Certainly love for you to come on down and hang out with our tailgate. Check out some of the games that are going on. A lot of college football taking place. College basketball is in the air as well. Later on this afternoon or this evening, the Chicago Bulls will be entertaining the Brooklyn Nets over at the United Center. We'll be in the house for that as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to welcome on our TR60 hotline. You loved him during his playing days. He was dynamic. He was sensational. He was just a beast mode as far as the defense was concerned for your Chicago Bears. Ladies and gentlemen, he is former defensive end Alex Brown joining us on the hotline. Alex, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm all pumped up. I'm ready to go, and I got to tell you, I hope that the Bears have turned the corner, man. I hope that they finally turn the corner and they get ready to get back to their winning ways. That 4-game losing streak that they had, brother, it was a tough one, but thank goodness for the Detroit Lions coming to Chicago to hope in the losing streak, man. What was your thought as far as the Bears are concerned, getting out of the blocks, struggling after a 3-1 start?
I think it's tough, man, because you got to think about how they actually look, not necessarily the win and losses, I guess. They've looked the same offensively. It just happened to be Detroit, and it happened to fall into a place where Driscoll was playing instead of Stafford. So
right.
if Stafford was playing, some of the receivers are running open, and I don't think he would have missed.
Yeah.
So I think we're struggling a little bit on defense. I think we're struggling on offense. We have been on the season. This is just one of those years that this is not our year. I know as a coach, you have to continue to push and keep your team motivated to play, but I think certain times you start to find out what type of players you have. Do you have guys that just play football because they're good at it? Or do you have guys that play football because they love it? Because when everything's going great, everybody's on their top game. But when it's not going so great, I think you start to find out what's truly inside a player and if they really want to play ball or not.
You know what? It's interesting, Alex, that you say that. Has defensive coordinators around the league, have they, now that they have, so much film on Matt Nagy's offense, have they caught up to the Bears and found them to be overall collectively a one-dimensional offense because of the deficiencies, lack of ability as far as the quarterback caller, Mitchell Trubisky, is concerned? Because it seems like, they're not capable of doing the things that we witnessed them doing last year. And you're right, they caught a lot of breaks last year. Limited injuries. The defense was opportunistic. Again, they didn't figure out, defensive coordinators couldn't figure out much about Mitchell Trubisky, rolling out, and of course, Tariq Cohen. Have teams caught up to the Chicago Bears and figured out Matt Nagy making the Bears offensive one-dimensional team?
I think offensively, it was shown early on in the season. If you just take a look at the first two games, you're looking at a new head coach in Green Bay who pretty much shut down the Bears offense. Mm-hmm. And then you go to the next game and you see a friendly foe and Vic Fangio who completely shut down the offense. So there were two different sides of that where you saw the same outcome.
Right.
And it hasn't been the past 8 weeks. It's been the last 6 months prior to that Green Bay game. So all off season, that's what defensive coordinators get paid to do. You can't rely on it. It's short-lived in NFL if you're really relying on running a triple reverse on 3rd and 1 to get a first down.
Yeah.
You can't rely on that. You can't hang your hat on stuff like that, and that's what I think we did last year. We got away with it.
Right.
The defense, and all honesty, when you look at it, getting up per game, really close to what we did last year. I think we were 17.6 or 17.3 last year. So it's okay. I mean, even though 17 points last year for the league, this year I think they're 3rd or 4th. So they're not bad. They're not getting the turnovers at the rate they were getting last year.
Right.
They're not getting the sacks. They're not getting the big plays on defense, and that's what really hurting this team, because when you don't get those turnovers, you don't get those sacks, you don't put the offense in a short field, and then they come out and have one first down, and then they got an opportunity to kick a field goal, and they get one big play, and they can get it in zone. So those things are what we're missing this year, and I think we're seeing the offense is a lot different.
Yeah, but here's the deal, and we're on with Alex Brown, former defensive end for the Chicago Bears, on our TR60 hotline. Here's the deal, though, man. The defense, they're not coming up with the takeaways that they were doing a year ago. But offensively, they've been wearing the defense down for the offense of the Chicago Bears, because how many times over the past, during that losing stretch, those 4-game losing streak that they had, that they were 3 and out, man. It's like they were 3 and out. It was... They couldn't get a first down. They barely could get a yard on first or second down. And so by the time the defense got off the field to catch some wind, to get a little sip of water or whatever on the sideline, they look up and they got to run back out there on the field. So, despite the fact that they haven't been able to take away the ball as much as they were last year, the offense isn't helping them out by burning the clock for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, I understand what you're saying, but the defense has to take this mantra, if you will, doesn't matter what the offense does.
Right.
The first two possessions of the Eagles game, the Eagles drove down the field, got 4. That has nothing to do with the offense.
Right.
Regardless of where the offense turns the ball over, regardless of where you get the privilege of taking the field, you can always go 3 and out. So that's not the offense's fault that you're on the field for 13, 14 plays. That's not the offense's fault. So if the defense just stop thinking about, at this team meeting, and kind of bother me a little bit because that's not your job. Like, the only thing you're going to do in a team meeting is point fingers. That's it. So the reason you're meeting is to say, because something's not going right, and somebody feels a certain way about it, so we need to meet. So don't do that. I don't play offense. I don't catch the ball. I don't run the ball. And I don't block.
Right.
How about I do my job better? If when the game starts, it's 0-0. If the defense takes on the mentality that if the offense does absolutely nothing, the worst that should happen is a tie ball game because it's 0-0.
Right.
So if they take on that mantra and stop saying, well, we're not getting any help, or reading the papers about people saying they're not getting any help, they'll play better because they'll stop relying or stop expecting any help. There is no help. It's 0-0. That's the help you need. Shut a team out. How about that?
Yeah.
Then you can ensure that you do not lose.
Okay, I love it. Hey, man, can you hold on for a couple seconds? We're going to take a short time out. Can you hold on for another segment with us?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. We're on with Alex Brown, former Chicago Bear player, on our TR60 hotline, broadcasting from Saranello's Restaurant there in Wheeling, our Saturday tailgate show. We're going to take a short time out, come back, and pick Alex's brain as far as this Sunday night clash between our beloved Bears and, of course, the Rams out in Los Angeles. Keep it locked in. You've got the Rewind Sports 60 streaming live on YouTube from Saranello's Restaurant Italiano here in Wheeling. You know, we're here at Saranello's every Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Every Saturday we're here for our Saturday Tailgate show, and it's from 12 to 2, 12 p.m. noon to 2 p.m., and it is the fastest 2 hours in sports conversation. I guarantee you, by the time you come down here, you find yourself a place at the bar. Look, it's fantastic. Look at the folks that are enjoying the games. But if you come down here, you get an opportunity to check out one of the best sports shows in the city of Chicago. There's no question about it, that being the Rewind Sports 60. Natalie and everyone at the hostess stands, they're going to greet you. They're going to seat you. The food is fantastic. Chef Michael Bonner is in the back there. They're preparing something for this Saturday tailgate. We'll bring it out and let you get an opportunity to check it out. But I want you to come down here, make plans. Every Saturday, if you can, come on down to Saranello's for our Saturday Tailgate show. It is a blast. It's fun. A lot of football action taking place. Basketball is in the air as well. But it is the Rewind Sports 60 Saturday Tailgate every Saturday here at Saranello's. We're on with our TR60 hotline. Alex Brown, the former Bear, joining us to talk some Bear football. And Alex, you the defense that you play with, you guys had that mentality as far as we don't care what the offense is doing. We don't care what the special team is doing. Our job is to go out there and do our job and do it collectively and keep points off the board. You don't seem to think that that's the manner or the thought process of this particular defense, do you?
Well, no, not if they're having team meetings about what the offense is doing and the offense having to pull their weight. No, I don't. I really don't think they have that attitude. Because that's when you're a special defense. If you just want to be a good defense, then they're doing a pretty good job as far as being a good defense.
Right.
Giving up 17 points a game, you're top 3, top 4 in the league. Last year, 17 points a game led the league. So you're doing a good job, but if you want to be a special defense, then it doesn't matter. I played on offenses that gave up less points than this current offense is actually getting in a game. And we just gave up less.
Okay.
2005, I want to say our defense averaged about 16 points a game, where we gave up 12.
You guys...
And we went 11-5.
Yeah.
And then the 2016, our offense got a lot better, and they started to average actually like 27 points a game, and we gave up 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
So when people start talking about a defense and the mentality of a defense, your job is to go out and dominate that team week in and week out. Don't give up points. And if you're put in a bad position where we turn the ball over and they're on the 20-yard line going in, well, the best case scenario for them is to try a field goal. And then you're going to try to block that.
Right.
But they're not getting in that end zone. So that's kind of the mentality you have to have. And you have to have guys that make plays. There's guys in the defense that I haven't heard their name since week 1, week 2. So, and with Khalil Mack, I mean, especially of a player as he is, I mean, you can't just ride his back the whole year.
Right.
He is out. You can't ride his back. Now the guys got to step up and make plays. The big plays on the back end are happening this year like they happened last year with Eddie Johnson and the safeties with Fuller. So now with Danny Trevathan, I mean, see what Kwiatkowski can do.
Well,
I want to see what Robertson Harris, and I am anxious and waiting, and I've been waiting on Leonard Floyd to actually turn a corner and become that player that they thought he'd be when they drafted him. So that stuff isn't happening.
Yeah. You know what? And it's interesting that you mentioned Leonard Floyd, and we have a running joke that there at the radio station we have the milk carton in the refrigerator, and it's got Leonard Floyd's picture on it because he's been missing all season long. You barely hear this guy's name. Why do you think that's the case? Was he overrated coming out of college? Because it seemed like he's not living up to his potential, man. What do you see in Leonard Floyd?
I see an athlete. I don't necessarily see a football player. I see a really, really good athlete.
Right.
I want football players.
Right.
I want guys that make plays. I don't want guys that show up a half a second late to the foul, or when it's time to make a big play, when we really need a big play, I can't count on that person to do it. And it's just that I think Leonard Floyd's a really good dude. I mean, I talk to him when I see him. I think we have a very good conversation when I talk to him.
Right.
As far as on the football field, I need him to play better. He hasn't been doing it. And to be completely honest, I think I almost don't fault Leonard Floyd anymore. I think he's doing his best. I think it's the coach's fault when you continue to put a player out there that's not getting the job done that you think should be done or the way it should be being done, then it turns into the coach's fault because the player can only play as good as he can play.
Right. So are you saying it's Chuck Pagano or are you saying it's Matt Nagy?
Well, I mean, the coaches, it's all of them. I mean, I don't think they make any decisions without conversing with each other. I think this is a collective effort on every player that they put out there week in and week out. So I'm not just singling out Leonard Floyd. We can talk about Trubisky. We can talk about when tight end was done, and he hasn't made a play in Burton.
Trey Burton, yeah.
I love Trey Burton. Trey Burton's a former Florida Gator, and you know I feel about my Gator. So, but if you continue running a guy out there that's not going to put up the production, fault them for not putting up that production. You know, over the last, we are more than halfway through this defense. And what I keep hearing is this is a marathon, not a sprint. Well, the marathon is almost over. So we gotta figure this out, or this season's a wash. And now we're talking about what we're gonna do in 2020.
Got you. Hey, we're on with Alex Brown, former Chicago Bear, joining us on our TR60 hotline. As far as this Bears team, they're preparing for the Rams on Sunday night, and the Rams, they're not the blockbuster team that everyone projected them to be. Obviously, they had a tremendous run last year, but now the running game isn't up to par as far as Todd Gurley is concerned. They're still suspect at quarterback, and offensive line is poor. They kind of like mirror the same image of the Chicago Bears, man. What is your preview of the clash between the Rams and the Bears on Sunday night primetime?
I think it's going to be a decent game. I don't think it's going to be a barn burner for any stretch of the imagination. But I think 24-17 type of game. If there's a defensive score, I think they'll be pressure on. If their defense looking on our side, they want to get pressure up the middle. With their defense, they want to get pressure. And you got Jalen Ramsey on the back end. You know that Jalen Ramsey is going to make the paint. He's that type of player that's being traded for. Donald, I think Donald's going to have a chip on his shoulder because Daniel last year kind of shut him down. And I think he has something to prove, and I think he's going to come out with them and to prove something. So I think he's going to have the hands full. He better be able to run the football because if you get in a track meet with these guys, we're going to be in trouble. We can't do that. We can't throw the ball 40 times. But Mitch got to get back 5-6 times and not use the ball. Now here we go with a big play where defense scoring a touchdown. So you just can't get in those situations. Third and long, you got to keep it to second and short, third and manageable, like stuff like that. You got to keep it there because if not, the defensive line can go. You got Dante Fowler over there. You got some guys that can actually rush the quarterback, and you put our tackles against their and our inside guys against Donald, we're in trouble. So let's not get into that. Don't get into those long distance plays. So we can't have. So I guess it just boils down to we can't have negative plays. It's the false starts on the offensive line. Literal. Can't false start. Can't hold. Because when you get in those positions, that's when you put your offense behind the sticks, and it's going to be tough this week.
No, you're right. I got you. Real quick, and I appreciate you taking some time to join us on the program here. Is Matt Nagy too smart for himself, man?
I don't think so. I think what Matt Nagy's doing, he believes in what he's doing. And I don't know if he believes that he has quite the right pieces just yet to do it. But he wants to stick with it because he thinks it works. Now, for me, a really, really good coach, I think Matt Nagy is a really good coach, but I think a coach, he looks at the talent that he has, and he adjusts accordingly. What we can do, we can run the ball. Trubisky can throw the ball out of play action. I hope we see more there. When we see two receivers out with that max protection, because we will need that max protection this week. I really believe that the line can get after us if we're not careful. We need to max protect, get Allen Robinson and Gabriel on route.
Right.
But that core in to block. In Trubisky just able to make them go. I'm not a fan of. I like Trubisky as a person. I'm not a fan of his play. I don't think she is that franchise quarterback.
Wait.
I think you got to start putting him in better positions to make plays, and that starts with running the football.
Wait, Alex.
You got to get that defense something else.
Alex, did you say you didn't think Trubisky was a franchise quarterback?
No, I think a lot of people do. I think when he got drafted, I think a lot of people believe that. I think after last year, I think a lot of people believe that. I've never been one of those people.
So
no, like I haven't. You go back and everybody's changing now.
Right.
But you go back 8-9 weeks, people are talking about the Bears going to the Super Bowl, and I was because I can see it. And it's just not there. The trick plays and all that stuff only goes so far. You have to play football at some point, and football always boils down to moving a man that doesn't want to be moved. And if you go 3rd and 1 and you're out there doing 4 wide, doing screens and running reverses to get a 3rd and 1, that's going to fight you more time than you're going to get the first down.
Hey, Alex, before we go, so I got to ask you about the quarterback situation, of course, with Trubisky, but there's another quarterback, so to speak, working out down in Atlanta. It was 11 teams that announced that they were going to send a representative to watch Colin Kaepernick work out at the hands of the National Football League earlier this week, saying, hey, Colin, we're going to schedule a workout for you on Saturday, take it or leave it. Colin's camp wanted to do it on Tuesday when that's the day off for teams and free agents come in to work out. Then he asked if he can move it back to next Saturday, and they said, no, you're working out this Saturday down in Atlanta, and we'll give you all the details. Now there are 24 teams who are scheduled to watch Colin Kaepernick work out. What are your thoughts on the NFL actually giving this guy an opportunity to work out for all 32 teams or have the film available for these teams? To watch Colin and see if he can join the league again. What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't really think the NFL is throwing him a bone here. I think you look at the quarterbacks and the backup quarterbacks in this league, and he definitely should be in this league. We're talking about talent and a guy that can play the position. I look at that guy week in and week out in the position. So I think he deserves a chance. I don't think they speak of it, they being NFL speak of it as if they're giving him something. Like, treat it like any other doctor in the NFL. If it's a Tuesday, let him work out on a Tuesday. That's so the teams can get there. Don't make it special. Don't make it a spectacle. And I think that's what's kind of happening.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter. If you can play ball, I just hope somebody gives him a chance. I actually think he can actually help people win. He hasn't played in a while, but 20 quarterbacks that he from being a high school football coach over the last year that came to the NFL and they're productive. So you can actually see him. I can actually see the scenario where he turns in the ACLU football team this year and then compete going into camp for the English start time next year. So I hope that my Chicago Bears are one of those 24 teams that's down there.
Do you think the Bears are going to send a representative? Because they're always, they keep things close to the vest and they really don't let information out. Do you think they're possibly one of those 24 teams that is going to have a representative down there?
I sure hope so. I mean, I don't know, but I sure hope so. I think when there's a player out there that has played at the level Colin Kaepernick has played at, I think absolutely you should send it. I mean, I think you can look at it like Cam. Cam was really, really good 3 years ago.
Right.
Cam was not shown that. And you hear all the buzz about maybe get Cam Newton. But you're going to look at Cam. You got to look at Cam. So I just think that you have to look at both because Cam hasn't played at that high level and Cam hasn't been in the league for a while. So, hey, look at both at least. I mean, last time I saw Cam Newton, he was good. And the Cam Newton that I think everybody's talking about, I don't know what camp is.
Right.
That's why I would have to concede.
Okay, real quick. Now here's my prediction. I predicted this even before the and if you want to share your thoughts on what happened Thursday night between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, by all means we'd love to hear it. But this I predicted even before that melee that took place. I said that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be the front runners if Colin Kaepernick gets an invite to one of these NFL teams. I felt that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be the team that would step up and say, hey, you know what? Let's give this kid a second chance. Obviously, because Roethlisberger is out for the year, and you saw what happened with Mason Rudolph. I mean, he was even before the mayhem. He was pathetic in that game, and so I felt that Pittsburgh would be the team to say, hey, you know what? Let's give a look. Let's take a look at Colin, and maybe he can help us out. Do you agree with my assessment, man?
Well, I think Pittsburgh, you got to look at the offensive schemes, I think, and the scheme has to fit. So if it's not a predominantly RPO scheme, I'm not sure how Cap. I don't look at Cap as a drop back quarterback. I think he has the talent to be able to change like Michael Vick did. Michael Vick was the kind of running quarterback, and then when he got to the Eagles, and then he turned into more of a pocket quarterback. I'm not sure Cap can do that, but that's why we're going to see him, so I can see if he can do that. Can he read the defense? We're watching in the weekend. There are quarterbacks in this league that can't even read the defense.
Right.
Can he read the defense? If he can read the defense, then he has a chance. If he can still throw the ball, he has a chance. I don't think his athleticism has gone away, so I think he's still an athletic guy. He still can make time or five time with his team. It sounds like he can play in his league. So I think he deserves a chance. As far as Pittsburgh, I think what they do now is more of a drop back style. If they can change it and it be kind of seamless, then absolutely. I think every team honestly should look at it because you just never know. I mean, if you don't give guys a chance, how will we know Robbie Gold if we didn't give him a chance? How will we know Curtin Warner if we didn't give him a chance?
Right.
Like, you got to give guys a chance. Let's see what they have. I mean, Tom Brady got a chance. I know we always go back to the Tom Brady story, but it is a great story of how a guy gets a chance to play, and then he takes full advantage of it. I mean, Rasheed Davis here in Chicago was working at Best Buy in California. He got a chance to play in the NFL, and he kept his job at Best Buy for the next couple of years, and then ended up coming and playing and making a decent career. So you just got to give guys a chance. I think he has to learn the chance to show what he can do. Whether somebody wants to bring him on and actually adjust their offense, that's totally up to them.
Hey, man, I totally agree with you. And I could talk with you all day long, man. Tell my buddy Lawrence Holmes I'm envious of him because, dude, I can just sit around, throw a log on the fire and talk football with you all night, all day long, brother. Hey, but as far as that, and we're short on time, but real quick, the fiasco with 8 seconds left in the game that was definitely over with. What was your thoughts and reaction playing in the league, seeing something like that unfold, man?
Well, I think we have to take a step back and jumping on board with I've never seen this happen type of deal. I mean, we've seen this happen. We've seen it in college. We've seen it. We've seen guys fighting and throwing, using a helmet as a weapon, like swinging after the fact that he hit him with the helmet. I think that's beside the point. I mean, I think when you have that intention, I think we've seen that before. We've seen, I was down in New Orleans, and the whole Tailgate thing, we didn't go out to hurt people, but I think we understood what we were doing may cause an injury. So I don't think that's far different from that. I think what they have to do is you have to really control his emotions. You can't allow them to get the best of you. Now, sometimes they do, but that's what you have to have. I didn't see his teammates running there to help them out there. I don't like my kid being out there by himself. I would have liked the teammates running there to kind of help that situation. That was a long time. It's not just let the quarterback off the hook. Because the quarterback was actually pulling his helmet. Last year was just a little better at snatching his helmet off. Now, the whole hitting him with it it's a different level.
Right.
We can't have that in football, but that's not to say that we've never seen this type of aggressiveness before. We're talking about an aggressive sport here where your helmet is used a lot, and then it's a flag, and there's an actual rule for your helmet as a weapon, or your targeting. So, yes, I don't think he should do that. Can't do that. I don't condone that. Absolutely not.
Right.
But to say that we've never seen it, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say we haven't seen it, and it's ludicrous and it's crazy. But hey, man, dude, you got Mason Rudolph trying to rip his helmet off, and taking a helmet off, if you just pull it off, it hurts. And it was a football move. That was just a football tackle. And so, and again, the poor performance that this guy Rudolph, I mean, he was terrible. So his frustration level got to a certain height. But you're talking about it's a violent game in the first place. I mean, you guys, you were paid. These guys are paid to bring pain. And what do defensive players say? And I'm sure you guys said it. Hey, I'll meet you at the quarterback, man. And I think Mason Rudolph should be under the same scrutiny because he was the initiator. And I know that the retaliator usually is the one who gets, mostly severe, penalized or whatever. But if he just goes down on a regular football move, if it's a tackle, clock runs out, game's over. So I think he's getting a pass, so to speak. And I think he's getting fined. But, that's why, again, I think that Colin Kaepernick may have an opportunity with the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're probably fed up with this guy, brother. But again, like I said, I can talk with you all day long. One final question before we go. I heard through the grapevine, man. One of your cohorts, one of your colleagues is thinking of saying, hey, I can come back and play some more football in the National Football League. That, of course, Matt Forte. Is that true?
If anybody could do it, it would be Matthew. Matthew's still in great shape, so I would not doubt it. I mean, I don't think he could be the player he was back in 2010 where he was catching 100 balls and running for 1,000 yards. I don't know if he can do that,
right?
But I think he can play. I see some other running backs in this league, and I think Matt can play in this league. Absolutely.
Wow. Yeah. You know what? You never know. But I'd love to see Matt. I'd love to see the opportunity for him to suit up. He couldn't hurt, and with David Montgomery going down with this foot injury, it would be kind of cool to see, because Matt Nagy, with his offensive genius mind, he would love to utilize Matt Forte in the flats and, swing it out there and let him, see what he can do in the open field.
Yeah, I think Coach Nagy would love to utilize the 25-20.
Wait, say that again?
I don't know if this Matt Forte right here is a 25-26-year-old one, but I think he could be effective.
Yeah. He definitely, I think, would be effective. Hey, Alex, thank you for taking some time. We really appreciate you. God bless you, man. And, moving on down the road, we'd love an opportunity to get you down. I actually had a swag bag for you because I was praying and hoping that you would be able to come down to Saranello's and join us in person. So I'm just going to have to hold on to our TR60 swag bag for next time. All right, my man?
All right, I'll make an appearance and I'll get that swag bag.
There you go. Sounds good, brother. Thank you so very much. Have a good time on your post-game show over there at NBC Sports Chicago, and give my best to all the guys, including my buddy Lawrence Holmes. Okay?
Absolutely. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
You're the best, brother. Keep up the good work. Alex Brown joining us on the TR60 hotline. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you, the fun just keeps happening here at Saranello's. Come on down. We got some food coming around. We want to showcase. Got some pizza, hopefully some sausage. They're going to greet you over here. You see the people at the bars. They're taking in the football games going on. I tell you, this is just a place to be. The fastest 2 hours of sports conversation. It's simple. It's a beautiful day outside. Come on out for a drive. You got us on your smartphone. You got us on your Android. You got us on your computer or your MacBook Pro, the PC, whatever the case may be. Come on down. We got a lot more in store. Talk some NBA basketball coming up later on with the great Dr. Lloyd Walton. But there's the issue in the northern suburbs, Palatine-Schaumburg School District. Get a chance to talk with our good friend over at the ACLU, a board member. Come on, join us. Talk about some changes in sports here in the northern suburbs. Keep it locked in. As fast as 2 hours in sports conversation. This is the Rewind Sports 60, streaming live on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, come on down. Let's have some fun. Back in a couple minutes. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention the Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and I help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. You know, this is one of my favorite newspapers. Yes, I still read the newspapers, ladies and gentlemen. I get my family, they say, hey, Dad, you need to go online. That's all you need to do. But I still get the newspaper, the Chicago Daily Herald right here. Hopefully we'll get a chance to do some business with them moving forward. But the other day, yesterday, Friday, I open up the paper, I get the paper off the driveway, I take it out of the plastic cellophane or whatever it's wrapped in, and I see the headline, and I see full locker room access for transgender students, and I see a board member for ACLU, Ed Yohnka, on the cover page, hugging a gentleman who put this in motion, and in the Palatine-Schaumburg School District 211, it's now these the transgender students, athletes, going to have their choice as far as which locker room they want to go in and change, and all thanks to the ACLU and Ed Yohnka and his staff. And we're pleased to welcome on the Rewind Sports 60 on our TR60 hotline, the one, the only, Ed Yohnka for the ACLU, the board member, joining us on the Rewind Sports 60. Ed, how are you, buddy?
I am well, Jerry. How about you?
I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there, and I got to say, congratulations to you. I think what you were able to accomplish this past week, and I know you had some pushback, but the man that you are and the pride and the dedication that you have with what you do, you saw it come through, and now transgender students and athletes have the choice of whichever locker room they want to go. So if they were born a certain gender, a girl, but feels like she's a boy and she's on the cross-country team or the tennis team or whatever, and she feels, hey, I belong in the boys' locker room, you've cleared the way that these students now have that right to choose whichever locker room they want to be a part of and change. What's your thoughts on the ruling, and catch us up to speed on how this came about?
Sure. So this was all something that had happened in one of, if not the largest high school district in Illinois, District 211. Mm-hmm. And this whole ordeal, in some ways, started about 6 years ago when we were approached by a family of a student that participated in a team sport, but she was denied access to the team locker room because she was transgender. And we've been through a whole series of things. The Department of Education ruled she should have access. The school resisted. Then they set up a program where transgender students could go to the locker room, but they were forced to use a separate area, so we just moved the segregation from outside the locker room into the locker room itself. And we've been involved in lawsuits around this on behalf of another student. And finally, in September, the school district announced they were going to adopt this policy or consider this policy, which was then adopted the other day. And I should say quickly, it is a policy that brings District 211 into line with federal law, with state law, and with the practice in almost every other school district all around the Chicago area and in many districts all across the state of Illinois.
So Ed, this is a monumental move, because I would imagine you would see other school districts and of course schools in Chicago adopting this and moving forward regarding the transgender student and athletes. Is that fair to say?
Well, it is, but I want to underscore again that actually District 211 was behind other school districts.
Okay.
The Chicago Public Schools already has this policy, as well as, all the other large school districts around the Chicago area. And in fact, we're actually seeing school districts from Peoria to Springfield to other places adopt this. I think what's really important about this particular district is that there was such pushback. It was made to be such a controversy here, 4 years ago when this first began.
Right.
And what we've seen happen is now the board has adopted this policy. It'll be implemented without any problem or without any controversy. And I think it just demonstrates that if it can happen here in those circumstances, it could happen anywhere. Yeah. We're on with Ed Yohnka, ACLU board member, regarding District 21 and the new policy put in place in the Schaumburg Palatine School area, where transgender students have the option of going to a particular locker room that they feel comfortable in. So some of the questions that I fielded and heard was that with this policy in place now, does it make it a little bit challenging for the transgender student? Because, one, still there may be players on either side that don't want to accept it and may try to cause, harm or what have you. But also it opens up a big can of worms, so to speak, because if you have a male athlete to say, hey, you know what? I want to pretend that I'm a female, so I want to go into the female locker room. Has any of that, come to play as far as, this move? No, and let me say for a couple of reasons. First of all, in terms of of an individual, a teammate, just a gym classmate being uncomfortable with a transgender person being in the locker room. One of the things that the school district needs to do, whether it's District 211 or any other district, is to ensure the accommodation and comfort of that student. The second thing is that, and this has been interesting throughout this process, that parents often talk about nudity in the locker rooms, and students tell us that no one gets undressed in the locker room. That they are modest, that they keep covered or go to a private area anyway. So I think those incidents or the reason for some sort of conflict is reduced. But in terms of your last issue that you raised, there are processes and requirements for someone to be able to access the locker room in terms of identifying as someone who is transgender, which requires things like, consulting a therapist or being treated by a physician, being, actually taking hormonal treatment. So there's a series of steps that one goes through. This isn't something that, somebody wakes up on Monday morning and decides to change their gender. Right. And actually, both the Illinois High School Association and the NCAA. Yeah. They have specific requirements for a student to petition to be able to participate and compete as a transgender athlete. This policy doesn't change any of those. Those are still in place, and the people responsible for competition are still in charge of all of that.
Gotcha. Now, what your role, now that this is put into place, so to speak, do you guys, like over the next, let's say, 12, 18, 24 months, do you periodically check in with the school district to see how things are going, or is your work done here?
So in this particular district, there are two things. We have a lawsuit which is still pending on behalf of a young woman who graduated from the high school last year. So we will need to resolve that suit. I would think it would probably be settled, but I think that will be part of that process. We have also, because of our work in the district, been talking to young people who are transgender and their families for the last several years. I anticipate that we will check in with them from time to time, that we'll see how the policy is being implemented, that we'll be wanting to make sure that everyone is being treated fairly, and that we'll communicate any concerns we have to the district. So I don't think this is something that comes to an end, but this was certainly a really, really good moment.
And again, I got to imagine you had some type of pushbacks, because I got to tell you, Ed, when I was in high school, we didn't hear anything like this. And, maybe in the past, 5-10 years, you really didn't hear much about that. Maybe on the surface, but what percentage would you gather, just high school athletes find themselves or identify themselves as transgender? And, will there be more cases like this? You talked about in Chicago and Peoria. Yeah. I mean, it's because it's kind of new to a lot of us, because again, we didn't grow up, I didn't grow up knowing any transgender individuals, but now it seems like their percentages, the numbers are increasing. Do you expect more like this?
Actually, I think the reality is, Jerry, that you're right. You and I probably didn't grow up knowing anyone who was transgender, but the reality was that those people existed and they lived. They often lived undercover, often, struggled with being able to live as their authentic selves. Right. And, were were really damaged by that process. The numbers are very low in terms of the number of people who have gender dysphoria. Those numbers won't increase because of something like this. But here's what will happen. The one thing you and I both will remember, Jerry, is that when we were in high school, being accepted and being recognized for who we are was really important.
Right.
That's universal.
Right.
And so for these students, their school is now recognizing, respecting, and accommodating who they are. And that's a good thing. That means that they'll be healthier kids, happier kids, and kids who are ready to thrive in life as a result of that process.
You know, very well said, and I can't agree with you more. At the end of the day, that's what we all want, and especially at that tender age, you know, when you talk about, 14, 15, 16, 17 years of age, it's a transitional period for you, just as a human being, and you want to be accepted by your peers. And I'm glad that this is taking place, and I'm glad that you were the spearhead, and with ACLU that you guys were able to make this a reality in District 211, and hopefully, when your services are needed, you answer the call like you always do. Ed, thank you so very much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jerry. I will just say one last thing.
Yes, sir.
Which is that it was great to be there and be part of it, but the students, transgender students and others, were really the ones who made this happen, and they deserve all the credit.
Well, they certainly do, and hopefully, they'll continue to identify themselves, be proud of themselves, and represent, a great community. Ed, Yohnka, thank you so very much, man. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you down the road, my good friend.
Thanks so much.
You're the best.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care. Ed Yohnka, ACLU, the board member, joining us on the Rewind Sports 60. I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we don't shy away from anything. Of course, we'll talk Bears. I was hoping to talk with our good friend, Dr. Lloyd Walton, but I think he's tied up. Wanted to talk some NBA basketball. Of course, the Chicago Bulls, they're entertaining the Brooklyn Nets tonight over at the United Center. But we talk community issues, social issues, human interest stories as well. And that's what the Rewind Sports 60, sports and entertainment, is all about. We give it to you. Real sports, real talk, just plain real. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, got a surprise for you. I think we'll check it out. We want you to stay locked in. We're streaming live on YouTube Live, broadcasting from the world famous Saranello's Restaurante right here in the heart of Wheeling. Our Saturday Tailgate show, the fastest 2 hours of sports conversation. Come on right back on it. Wet my whistle, maybe get a little some grub inside my gut, and we'll come on back, keep it going. You've got the Rewind Sports 60.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention the Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so What would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and I help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention a Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. Hey, welcome back to Rewind Sports 60. Steve Gassman of Autograph One is here, and what's up, Steve?
Well, hey, Jer.
Look at this. Roman, can you get a? Hey, it's our Saturday tailgate show. It's our Saturday tailgate show. Roman, can you get a look at a quick shot of some of the salsicha? The salsicha.
We got some gnocchi bolognese.
Gnocchi bolognese.
And pork sausage.
Pork sausage.
All homemade. Jer.
I love it.
All homemade.
They do a fantastic job here. Chef Michael Bonner, they do a fantastic job. I can't wait to dig in here.
At Saranello's.
Yeah. Look at that. It's delicious. I'm ready to sink my teeth into this. My stomach is talking. It's growling. Can you do me a favor and hand me one of those utensils? Yeah. I got to man, come on down to the Saturday tailgate. We're tailgating, man.
All homemade.
It's good. These are fantastic. I love this stuff.
Natalie just brought it out.
Doing a fantastic job over there at the hostess there. Roman, I'll save you guys some, but I gotta dig into this and see how it is.
How is it? Good?
It's delicious.
Right?
What did you have?
Chicken parmesan.
Oh.
Chicken parmesan.
Chicken parmesan is delicious. The meatball sandwich is good. The sausage is good. And what is this again?
This is what did I say? I forgot what I already said.
Bolognese something or another.
Oh yeah, gnocchi bolognese.
Gnocchi bolognese.
It's good.
I'm going to try a little
Try
of
it.
this.
You get one.
Thank you. Come on. Oh. Man, this is very good. Come on down. Saturday Tailgate Show. Yeah. What's the Saturday Tailgate Show in the fall? Football Saturday. College basketball going on. We got some NBA stuff going on too. But without sausage, man, you got to have the salsicha.
Only at Saranello.
You got to have the salsicha, man.
Homemade.
Only at Saranello's. Our tailgate, 12 p.m. noon to 2 p.m. 2 hours. Come on down. You can't beat it. I can wet my whistle a little bit.
Yes, you can.
Yes, I can. Steve Gassman. Real quick, tell the listening audience, man, the viewers with streaming live on YouTube, tell
we got a big event coming up.
Yeah, tell them about the event that's coming up, brother.
Up.
This is pretty good. It's a big
Autograph
deal.
One's going to have Pat Hughes, Chicago Cubs radio announcer from The Score. He's up for the Hall of Fame. And he's competing with 7 other guys. He's the leading candidate. They're going to make an announcement December 11th as to whether or not he makes the Hall of Fame. We're betting he's going to make it. And he's going to be signing autographs. Pat Hughes will be signing autographs at the Warehouse Eatery in Deerfield, Waukegan and Deerfield Road, Saturday, December 14th, 1 to 2:30.
Okay.
And come on by, see Pat Hughes. He very well just might be a Hall of Famer by the time we have him on December 14th.
That's very well said, Steve Gassman. Do you know who the other candidates are?
One of them is Hawk Harrelson, I do know that.
Well, he'll get in.
Chicago White Sox. But they only take one.
Uh-oh.
Every 3 years, they only take one. And Pat Hughes, all the writers, all the pundits are all saying Pat Hughes is the leading candidate.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Hawk Harrelson?
Yes. So. So we're gonna have him again. The Warehouse Eatery, Deerfield.
Well, we don't really want to.
I know, but December 14th, 1 to 2:30.
Yeah. Well,
come on out and see him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's some stiff competition.
Yeah, it is.
That's some stiff competition.
Yeah, they're both good. They're both very good. You know, they each got their own thing, and
it's some stiff competition, and
it's gonna be exciting to see what happens.
TWTW, the will to win. Hawk Harrelson. TWTW.
That's a can of corn, right?
That's a can of corn. That's a duck snort. That's a duck snort. Get on out of here.
But as Pat Hughes says, that ball's got a chance. Gone.
Yeah, but Hawk Harrelson is like, get on out of here. Straight. Get on out of here.
Dagnabbit.
Steve Gassman, Autograph One. If people want to get a hold of you, how do they find you, Steve?
They can find us at Autograph One, AUTGRF1, the number 1, at gmail.com. We're also on Twitter, Autograph One on Twitter. Find us.
Okay, they'll find you. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short time out. I'm going to dig in a little bit more of this salsicha.
That's good stuff.
It is very, very good. Again, you can come down here every day. The one thing I love about Saranello's, they continue to put out the best product. There's no question about it. But they also give you an opportunity. They got Sunday brunch coming up. I understand through a little birdie.
Good.
Saturday brunch will be starting up soon. And, of course, they have the happy hour. I believe it's from 3 to 6 p.m. I think it's 3 from 6 p.m. here at Saranello's happy hour. You can get yourself appetizers for $5. You can get yourself a nice drink, wine, I think, beer, whatever, for $5. Come on, man. You can get out of work early. Come on over to Saranello's, hang out here, get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, avoid the traffic, and have a good time. Watch some sports, but Saranello's, they get the job done. I'm going to take a short time out. We're going to be doing some dancing, maybe. Some dancing before we're out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You curious? Keep it locked in. Come on back. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's the Rewind Sports 60.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, Executive Chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Restaurante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention the Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Restaurante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Restaurante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by.
Folks, welcome back to Rewind Sports 60. Yours truly, Jerry Riles, broadcasting from Saranello's. If you miss any portion of the broadcast, folks, check us out. We're streaming live right now on YouTube. We're on YouTube. Go to our channel, The Rewind Sports 60. Make sure it's 60. The Rewind Sports 60. Check us out. If you miss any portion of it, it'll be on Facebook and, of course, our website, TheRewindSports60.com. THE RewindSports60.com is our website. And we're pleased to be joined by 2 young ladies, and they're going to share with us the reason they're with us. And we'd like to say hello to Riley and Emily. And of course, Tiger, ladies and gentlemen. Tiger, how are you, brother?
How you doing?
I'm doing very good. And these young ladies here, give us, our viewers watching on YouTube, streaming live, why you guys are here at Saranello in Wheeling.
We're here for a convention called Monsters of Hip Hop. We like to bring a lot of students here to educate them in just the dance, the hip hop dance.
Yeah, you know what? It's interesting because we've been here for 2 years broadcasting from Saranello's. It's a fine establishment. And, you know, last year we saw all the young folks here, and I actually stuck my head in and set in on some of the performances. And it's remarkable to see the dances. Andy, come on over here, my good friend. Tell us what the competition is all about, real quick.
He can explain.
Oh, Andy, how are you?
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm well.
Very well.
Doing great.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen. Let everyone know what's going on here. Monsters Hip Hop. What's going on here in Wheeling?
So we have some of the top choreographers in the music entertainment industry that we take to different cities throughout the country. So 17th year that we've been coming to Chicago, and so we have tremendous amount of opportunities for dancers to network, whether they're here to just have fun or audition and that want to work professionally. So we have a lot of dancers who've come through this program, and award shows, TV shows, tours, all kinds of things. And that's our goal, is to really provide job opportunities and education to aspiring professional dancers. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. And this is your brainchild. This is your baby. How did this all come about?
Well, I kind of married into dance. I couldn't dance to save my life, but I handle the business side of things. My wife was a dancer. She grew up dancing competitively with her sister, and we had a successful dance studio in Baltimore for many years, and it grew very quickly. And we wanted to offer something. We saw a need for training outside of New York and Los Angeles for hip-hop dancers, and so it was kind of a test. We tried it in Philadelphia in 2003, and the response was terrific. We had people requesting it from all over the world, and so now we're 17 years later, and it's again, it's just an honor to do what we do and to see these kids do so many positive things with their lives, whether it's here for a weekend or dancing on stage with Bruno Mars and Beyonce and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
No, really. I mean, you've had some hip hop dancers come to your program, and they've actually danced. Really?
Numerous. Yeah, countless. We've had almost every award show, television show, what have you, has some dancer representation from Monsters.
Really?
So Beyonce's choreographer Jaquel Knight was in our show in 2008. 2 weeks later, did the Single Ladies video, which is iconic, and tons of those stories. Missy Elliott and Gwen Stefani, Taylor Swift. So they're doing amazing things.
So how did you come about over the 17-year period to be able to connect with these artists and showcase your hip hop students and people coming through the program? How were you able to get that marriage together?
They kind of gravitated towards the format. They loved the format because they were coming to us to find hip-hop training, hip-hop dancers, and so the choreographers loved it. When we started it, there was nobody doing all hip-hop conventions.
Right.
And so the faculty loved it because in the past they'd go to a convention, they might teach an hour of hip-hop out of a full weekend, and they're teaching it to jazz and tap and ballet dancers, which is great, but for them, this format the energy's amazing. I mean, it's so supportive. It's such an amazing supportive community. So for them, they're hiring dancers for their jobs, and this is where they want to find. This is where they come to find them.
Wow!
So they're training them, but they also know that people who come through the Monsters program are going to be prepared for nearly any job they go to. So we do a live show in LA every year, and it's like a boot camp for dancers. It's 15, 16-hour days for 2 weeks straight, and they perform, and it's just people know that once they go through that training at Monsters, it's kind of like their seal of approval. And choreographers look for that on their resume.
Andy Funk, the founder, do we call you president, CEO, or business guy of Monsters Hip Hop?
You call me funny looking, whatever you want to call me.
So Tiger, as far as now, you guys are. Come on up here. Don't be afraid. Come on. And you still don't go anywhere.
Okay,
man.
Right,
we're all a family here.
We're
all a family here. How long have you been involved with hip hop? And you're the choreographer, you're a coordinator. Share a little bit about your experience.
I've been doing hip hop since the 80s, so at least 35 years now.
Really?
I've been
They had
coaching.
hip hop in the 80s, man.
Man, you know.
Come on,
It had to be,
what?
it had to be underground. It had to be underground. I've been coming to Monsters. I've been following Monsters and bringing students to Monsters. This is my 13th year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah, and I've seen some of my kids grow through Monsters and be successful, like you said, get on stage at American Music Awards, all sorts of stuff.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Now, Riley, Emily, can you guys share your experience? How long have you been your hip hop dancers?
I've been hip hop dancing for about 8-9 years now. This is my 3rd year at Monsters. I'm Tiger's assistant, so
Okay.
yeah, I have some experience.
Okay.
I'm actually a contemporary jazz choreographer. So I really only started getting into hip hop about last year.
But she's
and I
a
kind
huge
of like
support with the kids.
I kind of like to come to this. For me, I feel like it just makes me better at what I'm doing. It
Gotcha.
just gives me more to pull from as a
Yeah.
choreographer. So
Yeah. You know, can you? And I'm gonna sound like one of those guys who are like long in the tooth. But can you explain to people who may not really understand or know what hip hop dancing is? Because you talked about you getting started in the 80s. I'm an old school guy. House music was really that house music was what we came up on.
Yeah.
So we that's how we got into it. It's like hip hop kind of like piggyback off of that. But what describe hip hop to the audience, because some people may not really get it or understand.
Hip hop is actually a culture.
It's a culture.
Okay.
Then it's broken down into so many different genres, from dance to drawing to dress to the way they rhyme, talk. So it's so many different things under the umbrella of hip hop that makes it up its history.
That's the most important part is that people understand, and what we do a lot of at Monsters is commercial dance. It's evolved in so many ways that a lot of the choreography we have are commercial dance under the umbrella of hip hop. However, there's a whole history to hip hop that is important for people to know, just as jazz and tap and ballet history is important. And it's important for people to recognize that they need to study the fundamentals and foundational elements. So, research people like Pop and Pete, who did funk styles, and Mr. Wiggles, who was part of the Rocksteady crew, and Electric Boogaloos.
Right.
So it's important to know your history just as much.
We had Mr. Wiggles on, as a matter of fact, on our show about a year or so ago.
Really?
Yeah. Because he performed for Barack Obama.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he's impressive.
He's one of the innovators of that style.
Yeah. Wow. So this is what else can you share with our audience about Monsters in Hip Hop? Is there a competitive competition going on later tonight?
Well, tonight we have a showcase. It's not a competition at this particular event. In March, when we come back, we'll be back in the middle of March, and that is a competition element as well. That's our Monsters A-List event. So that does include a competition element. But tonight we have a showcase. We have a freestyle battle. We have a parents battle, which is always a lot of fun. And then, the other freestyle battles as well in each level. That's tonight. Tomorrow we have auditions in the morning where we give away a lot of scholarships and things like that. One of the things I love about today's schedule in this city is that we have our Empower program. And so we started this about 4 years ago with Cassidy Bright, an incredible teacher, and it's a dance party, pizza party, and classes freestyle session for dancers with special needs.
Okay.
And so we have a handful of kids coming through tonight, and it's just so much joy in the room. But it's called Empower, and it's just an amazing program. So that's what we got going on today and tonight.
You know what? You talk about the freestyle competition. How do you judge that? I could judge a basketball contest. Sure. I can judge a football game. I can judge a talent show contest. But when you talk about a freestyle hip hop dance competition, what are the dancers judged on?
Well, there's a variety of things. So we do a junior, intermediate, and advanced level battles. And so the junior, intermediate, we want them to get up on stage, get comfortable being on stage, performing. It's not the typical freestyle hip hop battle format. For
Okay.
us in a convention setting at that age, we want them to get comfortable, take the first step in getting onto that stage. By the time you get to the advanced stage, the final round of the advanced battle is called 7 to Smoke. And so you basically have 8 people. One goes against 2. Whoever wins keeps moving on. And so the choreographers are looking for musicality, creativity, diversity. What styles are they bringing to the table? Are they listening to the music? Are they embodying the music? This and that. So there's a variety of things that go into it, and just entertainment value.
Okay.
They hear what the audience hears, and so they have a level of experience where they're training and they're hiring dancers, so they look for different things within that judging panel. Each choreographer is looking for something different, but of course the musicality is so important, and the technique and so forth as well.
Energy that they bring on the stage.
The energy, performance quality, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Riley, what made you get involved in hip hop?
In hip hop, I don't know. I moved to my town I live in now, which is where our studio's at, and my dad was like, I'm gonna sign you up for this class. I took a master class with a couple of the kids from the Iconic Boys who run America's Best Dance Crew like a while ago. My dad was like, you did great in that, so we're gonna sign you up in a class, and I've just been doing it ever since.
Really? Emily?
My parents, or my grandparents, actually started a dance studio, forever ago, 1972, I think.
Oh, wow.
So I've just been I've just grown up around dance.
Yeah,
It's been
you've
my
been
whole
around
life.
dance.
There
Yeah.
was never really a choice.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys taking some time out to join us. It's a fabulous event that's going on.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you. But how does, because everything evolves. Like I said, as a house head, hip hop came along.
Still do house.
Yeah.
Still do.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah, Tony Czar, who's teaching this weekend, is one of the best house dancers. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So where does breakdancing come into this? Was there an evolution?
That's the foundation.
That's the foundation.
That's the genesis of it. Yeah.
That is going to be your foundation of your hip hop era.
Okay.
And then it excels from there, because you start out, the b-boys would start off top, then hit the bottom.
Top rock,
eventually,
up rock.
Eventually somebody would say, well, I want to start adding a wave to it.
Right.
And start hitting the bottom. Then you get more of the West Coast style, which is all the popping and locking.
Right.
That's
wave,
the funk style.
The funk styles. The funk.
And this is Andy Funk, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Andy Funk.
This is not a stage name.
No. Can you, before we take our break, we take a time out here, can you give us a little sample? I can't do it.
I tap out.
Sample. Wait a minute. Whoa. Come on.
No, you need him.
Yeah.
Tiger's gonna, and tell again your, where's your studio?
Innovation Dance Company in Plainfield, Illinois.
Okay. Roman, can you get this? Go ahead, Tiger. Show us what you got. That's awesome. Steve Gassman, autograph one. Can you do that? Hey, Tiger, thank you so very much. Andy,
for having us.
it's a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Nice job.
Thanks for having us.
Riley, Emily, thank you so very much, guys. We'll
you, guys.
see you around, and God bless you. And hey, we want you to come back next year.
We'll be back in March. Back in November.
We'll have you back on.
Sounds
we
good.
certainly will have you on. Thank
Yes,
you
sir.
so very much. We
Thank
really
you, guys.
appreciate it. God bless
Appreciate
you guys.
it.
And get some food here at Saranello's. It's the
yeah,
best
it's the
here.
best food.
It is the best.
Great
Guys,
food.
enjoy yourself and have a good time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hits just keep coming. It's a fabulous show, I tell you. Sports, entertainment, human interest. You get it all. 2 hours, the fastest 2 hours in sports conversation. Even some food, the sausage is all gone. I made it disappear. Ladies and gentlemen, we come back. We'll talk a little bit about the Chicago Bulls. They're in action later on tonight over at the United Center. They're hosting the Brooklyn Nets. They were just up in Milwaukee taking on the Bucks and the Greek Freak. And it was a freak show. But it wasn't on behalf of the Chicago Bulls. Ladies and gentlemen, we come on down to Saranello's. We're here till 2 o'clock. Want you to be a part of it. Or keep it locked in, streaming live on YouTube. This is the Rewind Sports 60. More coming up right after this short timeout.
You're watching the Rewind Sports 60. Go Illini!
It's the end of the quarter. Time for a break in the action. The hottest sports panel in Chicago will get back to the fast-paced action, streaming live on Facebook Live. We're back at it after this quick timeout. So don't you dare touch that iPhone, Android, iPad, Mac, or PC. Lock it in.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention a Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
Please have a seat. I'll be honest. Your resume is not what I'm used to.
I know.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need a hard worker.
Good. I've got 2 part-time jobs and to help my parents pay the bills.
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by Saranello's Ristorante Italiano. Inspired by his travels and passion for Italy's culture, executive chef Michael Bonner has created a broad menu of Italian fare, utilizing the freshest ingredients to create the fullest flavors to bring homemade, handcrafted pizzas and pastas, as well as prime steaks and fresh fish dishes to the table. Feel the energy while dining in a casual and rustic setting. Dine at natural reclaimed wood tables surrounded by inviting darker woods, exposed brick beams, subtle filament lighting, and accented with muted chocolate and caramel tones throughout. An impressive 50-foot bar lines an entire wall with seating for all. The perfect place to relax, eat, and drink with your family and friends. Saranello's Ristorante Italiano is located at 601 North Milwaukee Avenue in Wheeling. Tell them the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop by. The Rewind Sports 60 is brought to you by the Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. Stop by 287 East Dundee Road in Wheeling or 8170 Gulf Road in Niles for all your wine and spirits needs. The Liquor Barn, located in Wheeling and Niles. And remember, tell Marcel and Tom in Wheeling that the Rewind Sports 60 told you to stop in and say hello. Mention a Rewind Sports 60 and receive a free gift.
It's the Rewind Sports 60, folks. We hope you enjoyed the program. Running short on time here, but again, if you miss any portion of that fabulous show that we just had here at Saranello's, our Saturday Tailgate show, make sure you go to YouTube, check us out. We'll have it posted on Facebook later on tonight, and of course, it'll be on our website, therewindsports60.com. The Bulls are in town tonight. They just came off a disappointing loss to the Milwaukee Bucks that I was sharing with you before the timeout. And Giannis Antetokounmpo, he just pretty much blitzed them. their entire team pretty much blitzed the Chicago Bulls, and it's kind of scary. And I tweeted this out maybe a week or two ago, before the Bears' victory last week over the Detroit Lions, 20-13 over at Soldier Field. But I tweeted out the killer bees, and they're killing us. That they being the Bulls, the Blackhawks, and the Bears. The Bulls, the Blackhawks, and the Bears. They're killing us, and we don't know what's going to happen during baseball. The Cubs they won't admit it, but they're in their rebuilding process. The White Sox, they might be the surprise for 2020. But as far as the Blackhawks are concerned, real quick before we talk a little bit about the Bulls, the Blackhawks have announced some dates for their 2019 holiday season drives. Blackhawks Foundation to collect food, winter gear, and toys for Chicagoland community. Chicago Blackhawks encourage fans to give back to our local community this holiday season through the Chicago Blackhawks Foundation series of upcoming donation initiatives. For each drive, collection bins will be placed at Fifth Third Arena, Chicago Blackhawks Community Ice Rink, as well as at the United Center near gates 2, 3, 4, that's the atrium, 6, and gates 7 on specific game nights. The food drive, collection, location, and dates. Blackhawk games at the United Center Sunday, November 17th, that's tomorrow, versus Buffalo, and Tuesday, November 19th, versus Charlotte. That, of course, Fifth Third Arena, now through Wednesday, November 20th. Carolina. The Blackhawks will be collecting canned goods and non-perishable items to be donated to Chicagoland area food banks. Fans who donate goods when entering the United Center for games on November 7th, of course, tomorrow, and November 19th, Tuesday, specifically, will be entered into a nightly drawing to win Blackhawks prizes. And the winter gear drive, collection locations and dates, Blackhawks Foundation night game at the United Center, that's December 8th, and Fifth Third on Sunday, December 1st through Sunday, December 8th. So if you want to be a part of that, you're going to the games, if you're going over to check out the practice at Fifth Third Arena over on the west side, for your food and winter gear, the Blackhawks, you can make donations there. And you can check out their website as well, the Blackhawks Foundation. They announced their holiday season drives, and it's a good thing. I think the Bears also have a coat drive coming up as well. Tony Medlin, their equipment guy, who's been doing it for a number of years, they have that going as well. So, help out as best you can. We just got through a cold spell this past week. It was cold. We got down to single digits, I believe, at night. And during the day, we were upper 20s, mid 30s. We've warmed up a little bit, as I think it's 40 degrees. It's like a heat wave out there now. Yeah, there are some people out there. I got to tell you, and you can't save the world, but you can help some folks. I'm going to make a confession here. The other night when the Bulls, I was coming from the Bulls game, and they whenever an opponent misses 2 free throws in the fourth quarter, whenever an opponent, the Bulls are playing, miss a free throw, or 2 free throws, consecutive free throws back to back in the fourth quarter, everyone, they get a free hot dog from Portillo's. You get a free hot dog. Well, it happened this past, what night was it? Not on, I'm slipping my mind, not Milwaukee Bucks, but whenever at the United Center earlier. Whenever at the United Center, I can't remember. Jason, you remember who their opponent was the other night? It wasn't.
The Knicks.
Was it the Knicks? With Derrick Rose? No.
Pistons.
It was the Pistons. Thank you, Jason. It was the Pistons. But they missed 2 consecutive free throws in the fourth quarter. I forget who the player was. And so I went over to Portillo's. It was cold. It was frigid. Believe me, I think it was like 8 or 9 degrees. It was single digits. It was freezing outside. Or maybe it was 14. I think it was 14 degrees. Whatever the case may be, I'm driving down State Street, just north of the river, and I see this young lady, and she's got her sign and said, "Homeless, can you help?" And she's freezing. I'm like, oh my God. So I drive over to Portillo's, And then I'm met by another homeless person inside, and she asked me, can you give me some change for some fries? I go out, I'll buy you some fries. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. So I ordered her a hot dog and some fries, and I got the free hot dog because of the free throws that were missed. So I get a free hot dog. I ordered 2 fries. I have them in separate bags. So I give it to the one homeless woman who's inside Portillo's downtown on Ontario. Give her and say, hey, you stay in here, eat, get yourself something to drink, some water, stay warm. I take the other bag and I run it over to State Street where this poor woman is out shivering. She's freezing. And I go, hey, listen, you got to get out of here. I give her the food, and I'm like, you got to get out of here. You got to get to a warm place. Go in someplace, whatever the case. You got to get, it's cold out here. She said, I got to get to Park Forest. I'm like, whoa, Park Forest. I didn't have any cash, but I was going to buy her a pass to get on the train to get out to Park Forest. But then she said she needed money to get, a Pace bus. Like, I don't have any cash to give to you. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to assist her any further. But I felt good, that at least I was helping her get some food in her gut. So I say all that to say this. When you're out there, it's cold. The holidays are here. If you have a spare coat, if you have spare change, whatever you can, help these people out because they need a lending hand. And this is what it's all about. Brothers and sisters taking care of each other. This is what Chicago is all about, helping each other out. So if you see someone in need, give them a couple bucks, buy them something to eat, give them a nice coat, whatever the case may be, help them out. As far as the Bulls are concerned, the Killer Bees, Bulls, Blackhawks, and the Bears. Thank goodness the Bears were able to win last week. The Bulls, they're still struggling, and I'm becoming a fan and a supporter of Jim Boylan, but some of his moves are a little bit questionable, and I just don't think he has the personnel to really make an impact in the league. And I know they talk about this is a good group of guys. They're young with a sprinkle of veterans in there, Thaddeus Young, but they got a long way to go. They have a very, very long way to go. But one thing I think that Jim Boylan should consider, and the other night when they were up in Milwaukee taking on the Bucks, this kid played, I think, 35 minutes. That, of course, Kobe White. This kid is something special. He's not starting, but he's coming off the bench. And Jim Boylan, I think he's helping the development situation come on a little bit sooner than expected. But Kobe White is a sensation. Again, he busted down 7 3-pointers in the fourth quarter after 3 quarters with only 4 points in the game the other night over at the United Center. 7 3-pointers. That's a franchise record. Michael Jordan's never done it. Scottie Pippen's never done it. John Paxson's never done it. Steve Kerr's never done it. Craig Hodges never done it. This kid hit 7 3-pointers for the Chicago Bulls in a fantastic victory. And his old coach, North Carolina, Roy Williams, was in the house. And Kobe said when he saw his coach, he wanted to perform for him, and it helped spark that 7 barrage 3-point attack in the fourth quarter to elevate the Bulls to the victory. But I think he needs to get more playing time. I love to see him in the starting unit. Maybe that'll come as time grows, but he's adapting and transitioning to the pro game, and he's doing a heck of a job. So that's one bright spot as far as this team is concerned. Chris Dunn is doing a heck of a job as well coming off the bench. But there's still a lot of work for the Chicago Bulls basketball team. And I think there's a lot of work for Jim Boylan. He's got to trust himself. He's got to trust his instincts. And maybe he's got to do what the bosses are telling him, John Paxson and Gar Forman. But he's got to trust his judgment doing a 48-game affair with this basketball team. And I think as time grows on, you're going to see some interesting and some promising improvement for this Bulls basketball team. As far as the Blackhawks is concerned, Jason, Jeremy Culleton, whoa, it's the core veterans on this hockey team. That of course Taze and Kane and Duncan Keith and Seabrook. I think that they're still accustomed to Joel Quenneville's style of play. And I'm trying to remember who said earlier this week that maybe it was Saad, but they like the style of Joel Quenneville, because they would just get out there on the ice and they would just skate. They would just react. Under Jeremy, it's like they have to think themselves through the process. And as an athlete, I don't care if you're maybe a high school athlete, college athlete, but definitely a pro athlete, you can't think. You have to react. You have to react. And too many times the Blackhawks have been caught with foolish penalties. As far as the goaltending is concerned, these guys are standing on their heads as much as they possibly can. But because they're thinking too much out there on the ice instead of reacting, they're causing opponents to get into their zone. And shots on goal are it's like rain. They're just raining pucks at them. Boom, boom, boom. And they're standing on their heads trying to prevent, all these scores. I don't know how many times I've watched the Blackhawks and shots on goals have been doubled because defensively the Blackhawks aren't getting back to protect their goalies, and offensively they're not executing. And I think it's the fact of the philosophy of they're trying to adapt to this new style of play under Jeremy Colliton, and they're thinking too much out there as opposed to the old style of Joel Quenneville and just knowing what you have to do, knowing where you need to be, and just reacting and just playing hard-nosed hockey. There's a lot of growth, there's a lot of development, but when you lose this experience in Joel Quenneville and bring in this young guy, and I like him and he may have a hockey mind, but you're going to lose something. And that's exactly what's going on with the Chicago Blackhawks. Let's hope, just like the Bulls, they can put things together. Let's just hope they can put things together and maybe possibly make a playoff push. It's a long season, there's no question about it. But these guys, these coaches, they got to make some changes. They have to make some adjustments and hope that these players buy into their system. Folks, it is the fastest 2 hours in sports conversation, and we'd love for you to come on down and be a part of what we're doing. Again, Saranello's Ristorante Italiano right here in Wheeling, located on the corner of Milwaukee and Lake Cook Road in Wheeling. This Saturday tailgate show is a blast, and I gotta encourage you to come on down and try the salsicha. I love the sausage and the peppers. Hey, the meatball sandwich, it's not bad either, but anything you have. Steve Gassman, Autograph One, he had the Parmesan chicken. He was enjoying it. I got to tell you, this place is fabulous. If you can't get down here for our Saturday tailgate show, come on down for dinner. Come on down for the Sunday brunch, Saturday brunch. I hear that they're going to start that up in December. Or just come on down for happy hour. On behalf of the team, Roman, our camera operator, and of course Jason Zinner, Jay-Z, our technical director, we'd like to say thank you to Ed Yohnka for the ACLU joining us on the program. Alex Brown, a former Chicago Bear, joining us on our TR60 hotline as well. And of course, Andy Funk and Tiger and the dancers joining us from Monster Hip Hop here in the Wheeling area. Folks, have a great rest of your day. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and the RewindSports60.com. And of course, we will see you on the radio tomorrow with our Bears pregame show. The Bears taking on the Los Angeles Rams, Sunday Night Football, WCPT 8:20 a.m., 6 to 7 p.m. Have a good night, stay warm, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.